So welcome to this session. Our session today is on a very famous temple of India. I am sure all of you have heard the name Chidambaram. Well, this is the famous Chidambaram temple. It is dedicated to Lord Shiva and is located in the town of Chidambaram in South India. The present temple was built in the beginning of the 13th century. Later, as happens most often, additions were made, renovations were made, but the similar style was adhered to as was first created by the royals of the ancient and medieval period. The temple is designed in what is known as the Dravidian style of architecture. The surrounding forest is dense with tillai trees, and hence you may have heard of this place being referred to as Tillai. It gets that name from the setting in which it is located. This temple is famous for its architectural and sculptural beauties. Its highlighted feature is the gold-plated gopurams, the bronze statues, the many dance sculptures, the large tanks and huge halls. This temple was built as per the specifications written in the Agamas. This temple has 5 prakarams. Prakaram is a closed precinct of a temple. Each of these prakaram is separated by walls, one within the other. So in a way it opens out. The innermost prakaram houses the sanctum sanctorum. Without a roof, the outer prakaram is open to the sky. Now there are several explanations as to why this temple bears the name Chidambaram. Chit means consciousness and Ambaram means amber, the sky. Chidambaram means the sky of consciousness which one strives to attain. Another meaning that is put forward is that Chit, consciousness, and Ambalam, meaning stage, come together to give us Chidambaram. After all, this is the stage of supreme bliss or Ananda. Lord Nataraj is the symbolic representation of the Anand. This is the only Shiva temple to have its main deity represented in the anthropomorphic form as the supreme being who performs all cosmic activities. Shaivites believe that a visit to Chidambaram leads to liberation. This place is referred to by different names in the scriptures. Names such as Tillaivanam, Vyagrapuri, Ponambalam, Porsabhai, these are just some of the names. The consort deity here is Shivakami Amman, goddess of female energy. 2 other forms of Lord Shiva are represented in the inner sanctum of the temple. One is the crystallized lingam form, and as the ether space, it is represented with empty space. A garland of 51 hanging golden bilvam leaves decorate the place. Lord Shiva is captured in a dancing pose, dancing the Ananda Tandav, the dance of delight, in the golden hall of the shrine Ponambalam. In this aspect, Shiva is also known as Nataraj, Adavalan, Kuthadum, Perunman, and many other names, but you know that this Anand Tandav is a very important image in dance. The Chidambaram complex is admired for its 5 famous halls, the ambalams or sabhas, which are inside the temple. Chidambalam or Chitsabha is the sanctum sanctorum, housing the shrine of Shiva and his consort Shivakami. Ponambalam or Kanaka Sabha, the golden hall from which the daily rituals are conducted. Nritya Sabha or Natyasabha, a 56-pillared hall to the south of the temple's flag mast or Dhvajastham, where mythologically it is believed that Nataraj outdanced Kali and established his supremacy. The Rajasabha is the 1,000-pillared hall that symbolizes the yogic chakra of 1,000-petaled lotus, Sahasraram. The Devasabha housing the Panchamurtis, the 5 idols of Ganesh, Somaskand, Sivananda Nayaki, Murugan, and Chandikeshwara. Chidambaram is one of the 5 Panchabhuta Sthanams, the holiest Shiva temples, each representing one of the 5 natural classical elements. Chidambaram represents Akasha. It is the primary shrine of the Padalpetra Sthalam, having 275 hymns in praise of the deity. Many Shaivite Nayanmars have sung several hymns in praise of the deity. During the Bhakti period, which started in the 9th century, the famous Nayanmars Thirunganan Sambandar, Sundarar, and Thiruna Vakkarasar have sung Tevarams, Tiruvachakams in the glory of the deity of this temple. The volumes of the Tirumurai literature canon were found in a secret chamber of the temple, which was found and propagated during the period of Rajaraja Chola in the 11th century. The Periya Puranam, a biography of these Nayanmar saints by Sekalar, commissioned by the Emperor Kuluthunga Cholal, was written and staged in the 1,000-pillared hall of this temple. In Kanda Puranam, the epic authored by Kashyapa Sivachariyar, the Chidambaram shrine is venerated as one of the 3 foremost Shiva abodes in the world. This is also called the Antagasthalam, denoting the third eye of Nataraj, which bears the power of knowledge. Chidambaram is glorified in Tirumular's Tirumandiram. There are many mythological and historical stories connected to this temple. Once Shiva was wandering in the Tilai Vanam, the forest of the Tilai trees, in the form of Bhikshadanar, a simple mendicant seeking alms. The group of sages who resided in this forest believed that God could be controlled by rituals and mantras. They invoked serpents, tigers, elephants, and a dwarf through their mantras to attack Shiva. He made the animals as his ornaments and kept the dwarf Muyalagan under his feet and performed the Ananda Tandav, the dance of eternal bliss, and disclosed his true form. The sages surrendered, realizing that Lord Shiva is the truth and he is beyond ritual and magic. Patanjali and Vyagrapada were sages and ardent devotees of Shiva. They lived in the forest near Chidambaram. They were blessed to witness the Ananda Tandav performed by Shiva. King Cochin Ganan Chola was born following the prayers his parents offered at the temple. As a token of gratitude, he refined the structure of the temple. Built by the early Cholas, Nataraj was the family deity of the Cholas. The temple served as the king and queen's state temple and the seat of the coronation of the monarchs. King Simhavarman II, who reigned in the 5th to the 6th century, was cured of leprosy by bathing in the Shiva Ganga tank opposite the temple. In gratitude, he made extensive repairs and additions to the temple. He changed his name to Hiranyavarman, the king with a golden body. He also attained the Nayanmar status and composed songs in praise of the temple deity. The Puranas, Sangam literature, and Tirumurai canon join several epigraphs and murals in highlighting the brilliance of the temple site. The Sthala Puranam, history of the place, as well as the Umapati Shivacharya Koila Puranam, the history of the temple, give an account of an ancient Chola prince of Krita Yugam who worshipped the Lord's feet at Chidambaram and was blessed. He was further assisted by the sage Vyagrapada to consecrate the temple in Chidambaram. The Chidambaram temple complex is spread over 40 acres of land in the heart of the city. The main complex to Lord Shiva also contains shrines to deities such as Shivakami, Amman, Ganesha, Murugan, and Vishnu in the form of Govindaraja Perumal. The golden tiled roof for the Chidambaram, the Vimana, was laid by the Chola king Prantaka I, who ruled between 1907 to 950, following which he was given the title of the one who constructed the golden roof. His successors, Rajaraja Chola and Kulothunga Chola I, had made significant donations to the temple. Gold and riches to the temples were donated by Rajaraja Chola's daughter, Kundavi Nachiyar. Vikrama Chola made donations to conduct the daily rituals in the temples. Donations of gold and jewels have been made by various kings, rulers, and patrons to the temple from the 9th to the 16th century. Donations were also made by the British. The emerald jewel adorns the deity given by the Maharaja Setupati of Padukottai. Naraloka Viran, the general of King Kulothunga Cholal, was responsible for building a shrine and a bronze image for Saint Thirugnana Sambandar. He constructed a hall for reciting the Thevaram hymns and engraved the hymns in copper plate. The temple is situated in a huge complex. The temple consists of the main shrine, several small shrines for other deities, Nritta Mandap, Surya shrine in the shape of a chariot with wheels, the 100-pillared Mandapa, the 1,000-pillared Mandapa, and a huge Shivagangar tank. This has 5 prakarams or circuits, each separated by walls, one within the other. The temple is supposed to be located at the lotus heart of the universe and known as Virat Hridaya Padmasthalam. This temple is situated at the center point of the world's magnetic equator. The temple's roof is made out of 21,600 sheets of gold. The 4 pillars that support the Kanaka Sabha represent the 4 Vedas. The 9 Kalashas on the roof represent the 9 energies or Shaktis. The 6 pillars at the Arth Mandap denote the 6 Shastras. 18 pillars in the adjacent Mandapa denote the 18 Puranas. The roof is held by 64 beams representing the fine arts. The Sangam classic acclaims Viduvel Vidugu Perum Tachan, the chief architect who initially renovated the temple. This gold roofed stage is the sanctum sanctorum of the Chidambaram temple and houses the Lord in 3 forms. The form of the anthropomorphic form as Nataraj, also called the Sakala Tirumeni, the semi-form, the semi-anthropomorphic form as the crystal linga of Chandramaulishwar, called the Sakala Nishkala Tirumeni, the formless. The empty space in the sanctum sanctorum is the Chidambara Shaya, the Nishkala Tirumani. The layout and architecture of the temple is replete with philosophical meanings. The temple has 9 gateways, and 4 of these have gateway towers or gopurams, each with 7 stories facing the east, south, west, and north. The south gopuram was constructed by a Pandya king. To emphasize this, there is an emblem of fish sculpted on the ceiling. The earliest and smallest of the 4 is the West Gopuram, constructed around 1150 AD. The North Gopuram was initiated around 1300 AD with a brick portion constructed by the Vijayanagar king Krishnadeva Raya. The East Gopuram was constructed by the Pallava king Kopurun Singan II. As per epigraphical records, it was repaired by Subbamal, the mother-in-law of the famous philanthropist Pachayappa Mudaliar. The idols of Pachiyappa Mudaliar and his wife Ilyalamal are found in the eastern Gopuram. The Pachiyappa Trust is still active and has been responsible for various functions in the temple and maintains the temple car. The eastern Gopuram is adorned with intricate carvings and is renowned for the 108 Karna sculptures. Each Gopuram has around 50 stone sculptures, and some of these are repeat sculptures. The Govindraj shrine near the Shiva shrine is dedicated to Vishnu and is one of the Divya Desham or the 108 Vaishnavite holy temples. Many alvars have sung in praise of Govindaraj Perumal. King Krishnappa Nayak was instrumental in installing the image of Govindaraj Perumal back in the temple after it was removed due to dispute between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. The Chidambaram temple is well endowed with several water bodies within and around the temple complex. 2 tanks are situated inside the temple complex. The Shivaganga tank is in the 3rd corridor of the temple opposite the Shivagami shrine. It is accessed by stone steps leading from the shrine. The Paramananda Kubham is the well on the eastern side of the Chitsabhai hall from which water is drawn for daily rituals. The Anandatandav posture of Nataraj represents the Panchakritya functions, which is believed to have created the dynamic force by which the world was created. There is a philosophical meaning in every aspect of the Anandatandav pose. The demon under Lord Nataraja's feet signifies human ignorance. The fire in his hand is the destroyer of all evil. The raised hand or the Abhayahast signifies him as the savior. The arc of fire called Tiruvashi denotes the cosmos and the perpetual motion of the earth. The drum in his hand signifies the origin of life forms. The lotus pedestal signifies Om, the sound of the universe. His right eye, left eye, and the third eye signify the sun, moon, and knowledge, respectively. His right earring, Makara Kundalam, and left earring, Stri Kundalam, signifies the union of the man and the woman. The crescent moon in his hair signifies benevolence and beauty. The flowing of the river Ganga through his matted hair signifies the eternity of life. The flowing hair and the drape shows the force of his dance. The Chidambra Rahasyam is the secret when the Jivatma surrenders totally at the feet of God to remove ignorance and experience his presence and bliss. At Chidambaram, the dancer form of Nataraj dominates, not the linga as in other Shiva shrines. The Chittasabha houses a small sphatika or crystal linga, believed to be a piece that fell from the crescent adorning Lord Shiva's head and installed by none other than Adi Shankara. The linga is associated with the intangible 5th element, Akasha, ether or space, the eternal infinite expanse where the dance of Lord Shiva takes place. Daily puja is offered to the ling and also a small gem-carved figure of Ratna Sabhapati. The temple is managed and administered hereditarily by the Chidambaram Dikshitars, a class of Vaidika Brahmins whom legend says were brought here from Mount Kailash by Patanjali, specifically for the performance of the daily rituals and for the maintenance of the Chidambaram temple. The temple was given endowments of 5,000 acres of fertile land and was patronized by various rulers for several centuries. Now it is managed almost entirely by privately run endowments. All around the year, there are many festivals celebrated in the temple. Natyanjali is a prominent festival celebrated during February every year when dancers from all over the country converge to present dance offerings to Nataraj. There are several inscriptions available in the temple and in the neighboring areas. Most inscriptions pertain to the period of the Cholas, Rajaraja Chola, Rajendra Chola, Kuluthunga Chola, Vikrama Chola, Rajadhiraja Chola, Kuluthunga Chola III, and Rajaraja Chola III. Pandya inscriptions date from the Tribhuvana Chakravarti Veera Pandyan Jatavarman, Tribhuvana Chakravarti Sundara Pandyan, and Maravarman Tribhuvana Chakravarti Veera Kerala Nagyan Kulashekara Pandyan. Pallava inscriptions are available for King Avaniyala Pirandham Koparam Singha. Vijayanagara kings mentioned in inscriptions are Veera Pratap Kirutina Teva Maharayar, Veera Pratapa Venkatadeva Maharayar, Sri Rangateva Maharayar, Achyutadeva Maharayar, and the Veera Bhupati Rayar. One inscription is found written by the descendants of the Cheraman Perumal Nayanar, Ramavarma Maharaj. Most of these inscriptions talk about the donations given by the kings to maintain the temple. The other important inscriptions are pertaining to dance and music. The 108 Nrityakarnas are sculpted in all the Gopurams, but the east and west Gopurams of the temple carry the Nrityakarna along with the corresponding verses prescribed in Natyashastra. The dance niches reveal the dance figures and prominence, and the drummer, conductor, the theme, and others in the background. The researchers reveal that Kuluthunga Chola built the dance karnas as part of the Gopuram structure. The first row of sculptures in the western Gopuram in the northern wing depicts a series of dance panels from the top. The 8 panels beginning from the top portray the origin of Natyashastra. The sculpture depicts Lord Brahma teaching the art of Natya to Bharata Muni. In the corresponding panel, 24 apsaras figure with Anjali Hastas. According to the legend, these apsaras were created by Brahma to perform the Lasya or Kaishaki dance. There are other dance figures depicted with orchestra. The dance karnas on the southern wing of the eastern Gopura are not only in orderly manner, but all belong to the same period as well. The dance panels on the other Gopurams are of the later period and are wrongly placed during renovations. The west and east Gopurams have Nritya Karnas in accordance to the Natyashastra. The names of the corresponding Karnas are inscribed in Sanskrit and Chola Grantha of the 12th century. All the 108 Karnas performed by a female dancer are depicted in the panels. The 1,000-pillar hall, shaped like a chariot called Rajasabha, has sculptures of dancers and musicians on the basement level. The temple car is equally beautiful and important. In the temple, the car or ratha is drawn twice a year by thousands of devotees during the Maragali Tiruvadirai and Ani Tirumanjanam. Nataraj is anointed via Abhishekam and taken in the Rath. The Arudra Darishnam is very auspicious in the temple. There were Devdasis devoted to this temple as early as the 5th century AD. These are evident from the available inscriptions about the donations given to their service and upkeep. Till the previous centuries, during the 7th day of the festival, the Devdasis performed in the prakara or corridor of the Chidambaram temple. The temple was severely vandalized during Malik Kafur's invasions of South India between 1311 to 1325. A garrison was set up within the temple precincts and walls were fortified during the Carnatic Wars between the East India Company and the French and the Anglo-Mysore Wars that the British fought with Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. The rich tradition of art, architecture, religion, legends, philosophy, history, inscriptions and devotion makes this temple called the Bhu Loka Kailash, heaven on earth. Ananda Kumara Swami, sees in Nataraj a synthesis of science, religion and art. Nataraj is a unique concept, the noblest symbolism of the supreme power. Over the years, Nataraj has inspired devotional music of the highest order. The Thevarams and other literary works in Tamil inspired by Chidambaram and Nataraj are remarkable. The impact on the Carnatic music tradition is also very strong. Bharatnatyam has very close affinity to the Nataraj cult. Muthuswami Dikshitar, one of the musical trinity, has composed immortal compositions on Nataraj. Appaya Dikshitar, Gopala Krishna Bharati, Muthu Tandavar are some of the great composers whose compositions are sung and danced till date, and all these compositions have been inspired by the image at Chidambaram. I hope you have been excited by visiting this temple in the best way that we could make it possible. Do try and visit in real life. You will see and read much more. Thank you for your attention this time, and we look forward to meeting you in our next session.